a new one for me. I'm now incorporating the 13th zodiac. It was miscalculated in the creation of the 12 zodiacs that Ophiuchus exists. Um, so, I feel like a lot of people don't identify it as Ophiuchus if they are. But for those of you who do, because one of my viewers did bring it up, I really would like to incorporate these readings. Ophiuchus doesn't have like an element set in stone. However, it is recognized as a fire sign, right? Because of the traits of Ophiuchus. So we're going to read it along with the fire signs. And just kind of see what happens, right? And besides, like, it's mathematically correct to incorporate it. So, to those of you who are Ophiuchus, here you are. There you go, a reading specifically for you. I feel like most readers neglect the eye, right? I was one of them until today. So, let's see. Energy of Ophiuchus. Your symbol would be Ouroboros, right? The snake that eats itself. Which really talks about chaos, right? Which gives me that, like, fire energy. Shadow self. So, it looks like you're doing shadow work. Denial, projection, shame. This is really confronting the shadow. This is really confronting the deeper issues in your life. So, let's see what that means for you. Alright, the first card that came out is Two of Swords. Two of Swords is like a guarded energy. This is like self-preservation. This is like, it can also talk about the ego a little bit, if I'm being honest, but it makes sense if you're doing shadow work and confronting some deeper issues. That you'd have like this guardedness about you or this defensiveness about you. Especially in regards to confronting things that, like, suck to confront, So, what else? So right off the bat, we have Queen of Wands in reverse, and Two of Cups in reverse. Queen of Wands in reverse could be like a lack of communication or communication problems being the reason for like a separation, or the severance of a partnership. Could be. It looks like a love partnership, to be honest. Interesting. But, okay. So then we have the Lovers and the Fool card, right? And it looks almost like as soon as you close out a cycle, you enter into a new cycle. You take action towards a new cycle here. This could have been a long time coming. Or like completely tell somebody why you were leaving them. It's kind of this energy of like leaving somebody for somebody else. But it happens. It happens if you're not content in a connection, like, you know. Also, there's like a personal truth that I feel like needs to be confronted here. Why is the Queen of Wands in reverse? This is already the most interesting reading. And like, I don't know, I'm interested and intrigued to like read you more, Ophiuchus. Knight of Pentacles. Yeah, so this person that you have waited on, or like that you've loved, that you've let go of, or you're letting go of. This past energy, right? It's like they're all dressed up, they look the part, they've got the things, but in some way, some emotional way, they didn't show up for you. It's like this energy of like waiting for them to be right, waiting for them to show up for you in a certain way, waiting for them to, you know, like, even communication. I feel like communication was lacking. But it's this energy of like they just didn't show up for you in the way that you needed. And with a Fool card and the Lover's card showing up, that tells me that you're taking action towards somebody new. Somebody who does show up for you in that way, right? Somebody who's not making you feel this defensive guardedness, right? Like maybe you couldn't trust this person of the past and you felt that intuitively. Six of Cups in reverse and the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. Yeah, there's like kind of an emotional or even financial codependency with this past energy, the thing that you're letting go of. It's like it almost feels like a survival couple. Like it just, you know, you guys paid bills together, whatever, you know, or even maybe that was like something you were hoping for and they didn't show up for you in that way. But it feels like you were both moving at a different pace and in a different direction. What is your advice from Spirit? So like there's a lot of learning and growing that needs to be done here. It just kind of feels like you might also be neglecting to like confront something inside yourself, going back to the shadow work. It just feels like there's a lot of work to be done in regards to Spirit here. Like the relationships you have on the third dimension are a reflection of the relationship you have with yourself. So if you're not at peace with yourself, you're going to find people who are not at peace with you. If you have love for yourself, you're going to find somebody who has love for you. Where you direct love is where love flows, right? So if you're directing love at yourself, guess what? Love's going to be like, there we go. We're going that way. It creates like the path of least resistance for love when you really work on self-love. And self-love is more than just saying, oh, I love myself. Oh, da-da-da. No, self-love is like when you wake up in the morning and you're like, you know what? I'm not going to eat cheesecake for breakfast, Like, yeah, it might be good, but like, is this nourishing my body, right? So you make eggs and toast instead. Self love is working out when you don't want to work out because you want to give your body the best. Um, Self love is taking care of hygiene. Self love is making your bed every day. Like, it's like the disciplines, right? Think about the way that your parents love you. Or how they're supposed to love you, I should say. Um, that's really the kind of way that we're supposed to love ourselves, also. We're supposed to come at love, like, first at ourselves, right? like we're supposed to, learn how to have a solid relationship with ourselves so that we know how to handle relationships. Relationships should be a place of non-attachment, right? Which is probably the opposite of all that you've learned and heard about it, right? But and when you have this ability to just love somebody for their energy, you don't feel like you need to own them or control them in any way. Like, they don't need you to be their parent. They need you to be their lover, right? And people are less likely to like hurt you or betray you when they feel free in love. Um, it doesn't mean that they never will, because sometimes people are just shitty and they'll just hurt you, But use your discernment with people. Really discern what their intentions are for you, what kind of energy they're giving off. You should feel like you can trust somebody before you come into union with them, before you make any commitments to them. Um, 8 of Cups in reverse, 9 of Wands, Princess of Cups. 8 of Cups in reverse tells me that this could be like this past person. You might be in a like on and off again thing with somebody who leaves you feeling like a wounded warrior, right? Like, just so much shit with this person. Like, you might be, back and forth, breaking up, getting back together, breaking up, getting back together. Princess of Cups tells me that that's because you do care for this person. However, like, I feel like your understanding of love, unfortunately, is too accepting of somebody manipulating you. And, this could stem from, like, the way that your parents were. If you had narcissistic parents, it's like they see you struggling with, like, dealing with a narcissist in love also. And them taking taking advantage of your heart, right? Taking advantage of your love. There's this video by Abraham Tversky. It's called True Love, right? And I love it because when he starts the video, he says, "Young man, why are you eating that fish?" And then the guy's like, "Well, I love fish." And then he's like, "Well, if you love the fish, why'd you take it out of the water, cook it, and eat it?" And the point of that is to say that, like, a lot of what people think love is this fish love, this needing to possess, consume, destroy it, right? And which is actually the opposite of love, right? The energy of love doesn't falter. It doesn't just go away, When you have real, authentic love and a connection, it's unrelenting, right? And it doesn't mean that it will accept any abuse or, bad treatment, because real love comes from somebody who really loves themselves, right? So there have to be boundaries, there have to be standards, there have to be, raising the bar on what you're willing to accept. So, and I do feel like you're very young, right? Or at least young at heart. Six of Wands tells me that you're kind of a popular energy. You have a lot of friends. You get a lot of recognition. You could be kind of an attractive person, and this could create insecurity in your partner. Ten of Wands tells me that there's a lot that you need to get off your chest. There's a burden you need to unload, right? Like you need to release something that's weighing you down, right? Like complete a cycle with somebody who's really just bringing you down. And with the Six of Wands, it's like, I don't feel like you're out of options. I feel like you could potentially stir up, a way better relationship with somebody who is better suited for you. All right. Ophiuchus. Let's see what the Kali deck has to say. You have me saying a lot. Because this is new. This is a new kind of energy. I haven't done a reading like this. And it feels like... it feels like there's something to be gained in regards to lessons here. One of my favorite movies well, it's a book. I haven't read the book yet. But The Perks of Being a Wallflower. There's a scene where this guy's like, or was it the guy or the girl? One of the people was like, it's been a while since I've watched any movies, so I get them all mixed up. But one of the guys was like, we accept the love we think we deserve. So start really realizing your worth. What kind of love do you deserve? How worthy do you feel of somebody who's really all about you? Somebody who respects you and gives you dignity. Somebody who defends you, right? Even behind your back, right? Nothing's worse than having a partner who just talks shit on you. And you can't trust somebody who does, right? Somebody who would openly go and bash you to their friends or their family or whatever. A real respectful connection is where there would be communication if something's bothering, one or both people, parties. And you could communicate until it's resolved, But if there's a lot of, like, hostility or a lot of, like, shit talking or a lot of, like, lack of respect, like, that's not going to make matters any better. It just doesn't get better. You have to really be solid in what you're willing to accept. This person could be very magnetic to you, but you also have to understand you've survived without them before and you could do it again, right? Like, we all have to learn that lesson at some point. We all have a person that we're like, I would die without them. And then when you're without them, you realize, hey, wait, I didn't die, and actually I'm enjoying myself. Like, I don't feel the constant pressure and the constant, like, fear that's associated with that person. That's fucking nice, So, to thyself be true. Bhubaneswari. Bhubaneswari. She is the rising sun, marking the ending of darkness and the replenishment of life force after illness or devastation. She creates a clean slate and a fresh start. She protects and preserves that which is worthy of the heart. She shines in a perpetual state of divine beauty and radiance, attracting to us the most supportive and honoring circumstances. Trust in the doors that close just as much as you trust the ones that open. Guyakali. It is time to realize the true nature of certain life circumstances. Be grateful for what you have learned, but see things for what they are, rather than what you wish them to be. You shall be able to recognize, process, and prosper from the truth, and do not need to fear the revelations that are unfolding. So let things fall apart if they must, because something I've learned is when things that don't serve our highest good leave our life, we end up feeling way better. We end up doing way better. It used to be so, I was in a relationship for, a decade, so, I didn't know how I would live without a person, I didn't know myself outside of that, but something about my single season was, so much fun. I had so much freedom, and I didn't, and I was celibate through it, which really helped to assess, what is important to me, what do I want, who's worthy of my energy, and when you get real picky like that, and you're like, who's worthy of my energy, and you are like, I literally won't settle for less, then, literally the universe is like, let me just drop you the best person for you, right? Let me just put that person in your life. Trust the universe, trust that the right circumstances are going to happen for you, and they will. But yes, this is pretty much what I have for you. Namaste, I love you guys, and I will catch you later.